You want to grow your business so that you can finally go full time. And you have big business goals, whether it be to make your first 10K month, whether it be to make your first 20K month, whatever your goal is, you are desperate to achieve that goal. And because of that, your nervous system is operating in a fight response. And what this looks like is you showing up to create content, but you're doing it in such a state of desperation that you're over explaining, you're over complicating, you're switching niches, you don't have full understanding because you're just jumping from strategy to strategy or from tactic to tactic. Your energy is desperate because you're constantly thinking, this has to work. I have to get this to work. I can't fail again. I need to resign. I need to get out of this 9 to 5. And so that desperation is being placed onto your audience. They can literally feel it. It's not something that they can pick up consciously, but subconsciously, physiologically, just your demeanor, the way that you're tense, the way that you're so attached to the outcome, that is sensed. That energy is sensed, and it's actually doing the very opposite of what you want. You want to attract your clients, but you're actually repelling it. And so this is how your nervous system keeps you in a trap. And so in this episode of the Daily Dose, I'm going to be breaking down the nervous system trap, keeping your business stuck, and how to actually overcome it. I'm going to walk you through my S.A.F.E protocol that I use. I use this myself and I use it with my clients as well, because no matter where you are in your business, you want to make sure that your nervous system is regulated, that you're operating from a grounded and a secure sense of security and an inner being and inner certainty that knows, you know what, these results in my business are inevitable. I am going to get to those 10K months. I am going to get to those 20K months, or I am going to get to those 100K months. However, how? How am I getting there? How am I going to get there? Right? And so I'm going to break down exactly what this looks like so that you can scale your business from a place of peace and not pressure. All right. And so welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose with yours truly. I am a registered nurse and business coach. And what I do is I help my clients to really be able to transition into their business full time without self-sabotaging, without chasing clients, without a large audience, without sacrificing time with their family, with their loved ones. And we do this from a grounded and a safe and secure place. And so the Daily Dose is, the dose stands for divine overflow of spirit-led empowerment, equipping, encouragement on your journey of entrepreneurship. I sit before the Lord, and whatever the Lord pours into me is what I show up and pour into you. And so today we're going to be discussing the nervous system trap, keeping your business stuck, and how to overcome it. But before we dive into that, I do have a quick question for you. How, right? We already know you're going to get the results. You're a go-getter. You're an action taker. You're working, you're hustling, you're grinding in your business. But how are you getting the results in your business? Are you doing it from a place of pressure? Are you doing it from a place of panic? Or are you doing it from a place of peace? Are you grounded in how it is that you're executing your tasks in your business? And so I want to share a story quickly, how this, I literally had to regulate myself just yesterday. Okay. And so this tool is so powerful. And so what that looked like for me yesterday was I am creating a brand new container for my clients. And it's such a powerful container. And I'm really excited about it. When the idea came to me, I was just like, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to be able to serve so many more women in this container. And I'm just super excited about it. But I was so excited. I wanted to get it done, right? I wanted to get it done. And I give myself, so I have blocks of times throughout my day. And what I thought was going to take me about an hour took me over 3 hours. And I began to get frustrated. I began to get irritated because I'm like, I want this done. I want it done before 6 p.m. because my cutoff time that I give myself is 6 p.m. And I'm like, I want to make sure that it's done by 6 p.m. And so I can sense, like, I was getting frustrated. I can sense that my nervous system was operating now in fight mode. I'm just like, I got to get it done. I got to get it done. I got to get it done. And every time I checked the clock, I was just like, oh, it's getting later and I'm not done. And I wasn't having that inner peace. I was operating from a place of panic and pressure. Why? Because I put my own timelines. I put my own timeline on myself, and we do this so often in business. And so I'm gonna break down exactly what I did so that if you find yourself operating in fight mode in your business, I'm going to break down my safe protocol for you so that you know how to self regulate in real time. So I was able to overcome this fight mode energy and really enter my body back into a place of safety and enter and start to operate from a place of peace. And I exceeded over the 6 p.m. cutoff time. But guess what? I allowed myself to say, you know what? I am doing a good work. I am going to complete this, but how am I going to complete it? Am I going to continue to complete it by hustling, grinding in frustration, irritation, or am I going to be centered and operate from a place of safety? And so I decided to operate from a place of safety. I decided to use my safe protocol in the moment. And so the very first thing that I did was I stopped and I did a somatic scan. And I said, you know what, Janel, where are you right now? What are you feeling right now? What's going on? What is your body feeling? Where are you feeling tension? What form of nervous system response am I currently undergoing? And I quickly detected that I was in fight mode. And so I had to take the time to stop and be one with myself. Oftentimes we are human doings, but God never called us to be human doings. He's called us to be human beings. And it's important that we take time to be present in the task that we're doing. Because you can do a task, but if you're doing it in hustle mode, and you're not happy about what you're doing, you want to have fun. In business, you're going to get the results. But how are you getting it? You want to make sure that you're having fun. You want to make sure that you're operating from a place of pleasure, of peace, of enjoyment, of fulfillment. As entrepreneurs, it's so important to remember this. All right. And so that's the first thing I did. I realized, wait, I'm operating in fight mode. Let's anchor. So I went into the second step of my safe protocol. And I teach this in depth inside of my coaching program. My clients know, like, this is what we do, all right? Because moments like this will happen. So I jumped into anchor in safety and in truth. And so all I did, there's many different ways that you can regulate your body. But one of my favorite ways is just breathing. Simply breathing. And I like to put my hands on my chest like this. Breathe in 4 seconds, hold. Breathe out for about 6 to 8 seconds. And as I'm exhaling, I do this for about 4 rounds, and I just get my body back into a place of safety and security. And as I'm exhaling, I'm literally just saying, God is with me. I'm safe. I'm secure. God is with me. The Lord is with me. The works of my hands are blessed. And I'm just anchoring my body into safety and into God's truth. This is one of the tools that I use. If I need something more, I'll just stand up for a minute. I'll move my body, get the tension out of my body, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I'll do some head neck movements. Oftentimes the tension can be in your shoulders, in your neck, in your jaw, especially if you've been sitting for a few hours. You can sing, you can hum, I love to worship. You can jump around, just get the tension out of your body. This allows you to just flow and just be in such a state of just like peace and in the present moment. There's another method that you can use. I call it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 presence. So it's like you just scan the room and realize, okay, scan 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can 4 things that you can hear, 3 things that you can touch, two things that you can smell and one thing that you can taste. It just gets you grounded and centered, and it just gets you present in the moment so that you can stop operating as a human doing and just be. And so these are just some methods, but I'm telling you, it shifts you. It completely shifts you because you never want to be in a energy of desperation. People can sense that. And even with the work that you're doing, if you're the work that you're doing it from a place of hustle and grind, it's not pleasurable. And this is the fastest way to burn out. This is what's going to burn you out completely in your business. And as an entrepreneur, as a coach, you are your business. You are your most valuable asset. So if you're not taking care of yourself in the midst of growing your business, you're going to burn out, you're going to crash out, and your business will fail as a result of that. And so this is why I'm so passionate as a registered nurse and business coach to help my clients to really build businesses that are sustainable and making sure that my clients are doing the inner work necessary to be able to sustain the business that God has called them to. And so that is the A, anchor in safety and in truth. The F is focus on your intention and identity. And so I had to take a moment and I was just like, all right, Janel, why am I building this container? My intention for this container is to serve more women. I have such high hopes for this container, and I'm excited for all the women that will be inside of here. It is called the Resign Room, and I'm super excited about it. I have to focus on my intention. Why am I building it? I'm building it to serve. And it's not a matter of rushing to get it done before 6 p.m. It's a matter of being intentional about what I'm putting inside of here. Because I want when the women come into this container, I want them to be overjoyed. I want them to feel the sense of peace and the sense of intentionality that went into this container. And so it's not a matter of staying in fight mode and just hustling to get it done. It's really just being intentional about what I'm putting out. Focusing on my identity. God has called me to coach coaches. He's called me to help women to step into their God-given purpose. He's called me to help women to step into their God-given assignments, right? To be able to resign and be present with their children. And so I have to operate from that level of identity and know like this is what God called me to. And so it's not a matter of just getting the work done and checking a box. It's a matter of having that intention, that level of intentionality, and making sure that I am operating always from a place of love. Because if you find that you're just trying to check boxes and check tasks off your to-do list, you're operating from a place of, oh, let me just get it done. And that's never the energy that you want to operate from, especially when you're doing a kingdom work. Never. I make it a point to always operate in a place of love. When I come before you on these daily doses, I'm sitting before the Lord. Why? Because I love my clients before they even meet me. I'm loving on them before they even meet me. I'm constantly thinking of them. I'm like, what is she going through right now? I literally had a taste of this yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? She's probably feeling this way in some area of her business right now. Let me talk about that. God, I think this is what we should talk about. Yeah, I think this is good. So it's like whatever I sit before the Lord and receive is what you're getting on these daily dose episodes, but it's always from a place of love. It's always from a place of security. It's always from a place of peace. Before I come on here, I'm literally on my face before the Lord, like, God, speak through me. Just use me. I'm your vessel. I'm just a conduit. Right? And so it's really focusing on your intention and your identity. It's so important to shift your focus off of yourself, shift your focus off of just what you feel how other people will perceive you, and focus on the people you're assigned to. That's what business is about. And then finally, the E is embody your future self. Now, you want to take aligned action. And so in the moment, it's like, okay, what can I do right now that's going to move the needle forward? From now that my body is anchored in safety, now that I'm feeling grounded and secure in my body, I'm no longer operating from a fight response. I'm no longer hustling, grinding. How is this showing up? How can I now take aligned action? What is the next best step or the next best move that I can do right now? And so I was operating from a grounded space, and I was like, okay, let's create the quiz that's going to go inside of this program. And so that's what I did. I created the quiz, and I was having so much fun after that. I was just like, yes, let's have fun. This is amazing. And at the end of the night, also, because why I was irritated too was because there was, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, there's always things to do. There's always more to do. And what I had to realize towards the end of the night too, when I went to bed last night, I was like, instead of focusing on all the things that I wasn't able to do yesterday because this task took me longer than I thought it was going to take me. Like I said, I thought it was going to take me an hour. It took me 3 hours. So instead of focusing on all the things I wasn't able to accomplish, I focused on all the things I was able to accomplish. And it's just quickly just shifting your focus, right? And just focusing on all of the good, the law of polarity, the law of duality. There's always two sides of a coin. There's never just one side. And so instead of focusing on just one side, the negative, make that decision to focus on the positive. The Bible even says, the Lord says, I've presented before you life and death. Choose life. So it's important for you to really embody your future self, take aligned action in what you feel would move the needle further for you in your business. And this is what's going to help you to really not only get out of this nervous system trap that's keeping your business stuck, but really be able to grow and sustain your business, because you can get results, right? You're going to get those 100K months, right? You're going to get whatever your business goal is, but how are you getting there? You don't want to push yourself to burnout. You don't want to do that. And so when you're operating in, I'm just making sure that I'm covering all my notes here. There's so much. So one thing that I wanted to share as well, not only do your clients feel that energy when you are operating in fight mode and in that desperate energy of, I need this to work. Not only is it obvious to your client, to your audience, you're no longer showing up to serve. You've now entered into survival, and you cannot build a sustainable business into survival. But it also blocks creativity. Right? If you are constantly in fight mode in your business, it blocks that creativity, because now it's like your prefrontal cortex, right? Decision maker in your mind, that goes offline. And now your amygdala is taking up speed, and it's just like, you know what? We got to get this done. It's like hustle, grind, we got to get it done. It's in fear mode, right? You're operating from a sense of fear instead of a place of love and security and peace. And so when the amygdala is taking over and you're now in this fight, survival mode, you're operating in your sympathetic nervous system response is kicked in. It just increases the cortisol levels in your body. And now it's like, you're not even able to receive like creative ideas. You start making irrational decisions in your business. You start second guessing yourself. You start maybe pre-launching before you actually have clarity. You are not able to like make wise decisions and make wise choices that you would have actually made if you allowed your body to operate from a sense of peace and groundedness. And so this is why this work that I do is so vital. It's so important. And this is what I love teaching, because not only am I a nurse and I get to help my clients to heal their bodies on their journey of building out their coaching businesses, but it's really just being able to sustain it. It's one thing to have the business goal and to have the business structure, but do you have the belief systems and do you have the body safety to sustain it? Because if you don't, you're going to burn out and your business is going to burn down. That's just what it is. That's the reality of it. If you want to learn more about how I serve my clients and how you can actually transition into your coaching business full time without chasing clients, without constantly self-sabotaging your business success, without operating in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, I cover all of that inside of my Call to Coach workshop. You can click the link to save your seat. I'll be teaching it live this week, and I'm excited to see you inside there. All right, so click the link and I'll see you inside of the workshop. I'm going to jump off of here, but I'm going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything that you want me to cover when it comes to nervous system responses and how to grow your business in a regulated state. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.